In this video, we're going to be looking at how to change the width of a table column. We're going to be also looking at other important factors on aligning a table and using AutoFit. We'll also be looking at how to resize a table and merging table cells. So let's start off with changing the width of a table column. So in our table, when we click on it, we can see we get the tab here again, like I've showed you previously, Table Tools. We come to our layout. So if we click anywhere within a cell, that cell becomes active, and this area here dealing with cell sizes now becomes editable. So up top here we got our height and we have our width. That there we can adjust the height and the height of a row and the width of a column. What we can also do is if we take our mouse and drag it over one of these lines, you can see how it changes. We can click on that and adjust the height of a row or the width of a column. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly adjust this slightly, just play around with it. So there we go. I've adjusted the height of 2 rows and change the width of 2 cells, but because I've changed the width of 2 cells, it is adjusted everywhere else. One of the things we can look at, if we want to adjust everything back to the way it was, what we do is we select the table, and over here we have the option to distribute rows evenly. So if we click on that, all the rows' heights have been distributed evenly, and distribute column width evenly. One of the other things we can look at here is what we call Autofit. So it automatically resizes the columns in your table, sets your columns to be the same width as the content you choose, and type something in here. I can go AutoFit, and I can choose the option to fit contents. So because there's nothing in these cells over here, those have become very, very narrow, as opposed to this information here. If I carry on typing, you can see it automatically adjusts to the width. Let me undo those. We can adjust to fit the window. So what it'll do, it'll fit the window in between the 2 marked areas for our cell or our page size. Or we can have a fixed column width. So that's how you go about using AutoFit and distribution of rows and cells. I'm just going to quickly delete this table. Go to Insert. I'm just going to add a new table here of 3 rows by 3 columns, just so it makes life a little bit easier, just so you can see what I'm going to be doing for the next step. There you go. Everything's now even. What we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at aligning the table. So when we talk about alignment, we are looking at this section over here where we are looking at alignment, cell margins, text directions, and information within it. So cell margins, customize cell margins and the spacing between cells. So we can click on that and we can adjust it so it all becomes precise. One of the things we can do for aligning a table is aligning the information. So all I'm just going to do is I'm just going to copy this, copy that information, just paste it in all the active cells quickly. So one of the things we can look at is this alignment here. So the preset is to be aligned top left. If we click here with top middle, you can see it moves into the middle. Top right, what we can do here is align center left, align completely center, center right, bottom left, bottom center, and then bottom right. So that is how you align text within a cell. So you can have it either in the middle, middle of the middle, left, right. And also what we can do is we can adjust the text direction. So if you want to know which direction your text is going to be flowing, if you have a look at the text direction button, the arrows indicate to where the text is going to be going. And as we change it, do you notice that the icons over here change as well? Right? One of the other things we're looking at is how to merge cells. So what we do is if we want to merge these two cells together to become one, or that entire row, we highlight all three and we click merge cells, and you can now see that it becomes one. If we want to split it up again, so it now only becomes two, we can go split cells, and it tells us how many number of columns we want, how many numbers of rows we want. Okay, we can adjust it to 4 columns, and let's add another 3 rows in that space. There we go. Alright, that's fairly useful. And then we get the option over here to split a table. So this splits the table into 2 tables. So if we click that, you can now see it's been broken up into 2 separate tables.